Hi, I'm Jeff Slavens with Slavens Racing, and today I'm going to show you how to install rigid handguard insert mounts. It's the inserts that screw into the end of the handlebar to give you a really solid connection with your handguards. The expandable kind tend to loosen up when you fall down, and the handguard can rotate or it comes loose and causes you a problem. These really lock the handguard in tight, so you don't have those issues. This is the kit that comes with the tap in this container here, the two inserts and the two tapered bolts to fit into the end of the handguard. So this is the tap that comes in the kit, and I'm not going to go through that whole process of showing you how to tap it, but basically wrenches don't work very well on here because they're so light and small. I prefer to use a big crescent on here to get some weight behind it, and the most critical part is make sure that you get the first couple of threads started right. I've already tapped this, so ahead of the game here, but anyhow, you're going to make sure that it gets started straight, and after you get in there just a little ways, well, then you want to sight down through the top, through the front and the back to make sure that it's not drooping or up or this sideways, forwards or backwards. You want to make sure that it's directly aligned with the hole. That's the most critical part. Once you get that resolved, then you can just tap it in, and typical tapping, you just go in like a quarter of a turn at a time, loosen it, quarter of a turn anyhow. And I also like to use a tap fluid. This is Tap Magic, but there's a lot of different kinds. You can buy them in a hardware store, Home Depot, wherever. And that will definitely make it tap easier. If you don't have any, you don't have time to run to a store to get some, you can use WD-40 or oil, some type of thin oil. And then you tap it, and in the instructions it tells you to mark the tap with a magic marker so that you know how deep to go in. So you can do that process, get your hole tapped, then use some contact cleaner and spray it in here, or carburetor cleaner, to get the tap material out of there, get everything clean, because you're going to want to Loctite the insert into there, so you need to have a clean, dry surface. And up here at the front of this tube here, there's a pin that locks it into this piece. And the pin actually has a hole in it, and you can take air and blow in through that hole, and then that will blow all the filings back out here rather than blowing them deeper into the hole. So do that a couple of times, get it good and clean, make sure that you've got a good clean dry surface. Then get out your insert and put some red Loctite on the insert. And one end of the insert is just kind of blank, the other end has a place for an Allen wrench. So you can put the Allen wrench in that end and get started. You want this to end up flush. And if they're a little deeper, that's all right too. It doesn't really matter, but perfect would be somewhere right in there. And now there's bolts that come with the kit. And those bolts thread right into the end here and hold your handguard in position. So it's just that simple. It's a pretty simple process. From there, I like to glue the grips on and safety wire them. And this is a Renthal grip, so there's a little R on the end of it, so I look to make sure that the R is positioned properly. This is just some Honda grip glue. There's a lot of different kinds out there. Just put some grip glue on there. And I put a little bit in the end of the grip just to kind of help it get started. Check the positioning of the grip again. Slide it over and push it all the way on. Check it here. And you've got the grip all the way on, but you've covered up the insert that you just put on there. So I take an X-Acto knife, and I always use a brand new blade because this rubber dulls them up really quickly. I just can reach in there and I find the end of the handlebar and trim it off. Now you got a nice clean setup. It's all flush with the end of the bar. You got your insert in there. It's ready to put your handguard on. From there, I do put safety wire on it. You can see it on the other side over here where I've already done that. Put safety wire on the outside and the inside. That just keeps it more secure. On a rainy day, sometimes if you get a little water underneath those things, it will make the grip come loose. So even with the grip glue. And there's a groove here for the safety wire and another one out here. A lot of guys put the ends of the safety wire in the wrong place. They put it in the front of the handlebar. But if you stop and think about that, you know, as you're holding on to the bike, those are just digging into your palm. And so it works out much better if you put it back here to where it seems like it would dig into your palm, but it doesn't. Because you're not putting much pressure on this end of the bar. You're actually gripping and pulling back from the front section of the bar. So you don't want that safety wire end digging into you. That's all for now. Thank you.